This is your host, and this is a financial news update. Right, I have some big news to share with you guys. So sit tight because it's going to be a wild ride. The dinar is moving. After years of anticipation and speculation, we finally have some solid confirmation from the U.S. Treasury. They've officially wrapped up the final Iraqi Dinar RV rate processing. Yep, you heard that right. This announcement alone is shaking up investor chats, collector groups, and social media feeds everywhere. So buckle up because I'm going to break it all down for you. We're diving deep into what this means for your money, your portfolio, and your next moves. For years, the dinar has been nothing but a dream of revaluation. Collectors held on tight to the hope of turning small stacks into life-changing wealth. Well, today, the Treasury stepped in and confirmed that the final RV rate processing is done. Let me tell you, the vibes are shifting. Now, let's get into the details. What's the 411 on this official news? The United States Treasury has wrapped up processing the final Iraqi Dinar RV rates. Now, you might be wondering, why is this such a big deal? Well, let me fill you in. For over 2 years, discussions have swirled around a potential redenomination or revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. Remember the past attempts to revalue the dinar, including the failed International Monetary Fund program. Well, this new development puts a spotlight on recent talks between Iraq and the IMF centered around economic reforms and exchange rate adjustments. So we're talking about a big player here. The IMF has pushed for a unified and flexible exchange rate for the dinar. And guess what? The U.S. Treasury has stepped into this global spotlight by officially completing the process of determining the final RV rate for the Iraqi dinar. Think about it. Both the IMF and the U.S. Treasury, two heavyweights in the financial world, are actively involved in Iraq's economic reforms.
Wow.
The timing is no coincidence. Now, before we dive deeper into what this means for you, let's unpack some of the key points of this big news. First up, we're seeing a clear path toward a floating exchange rate. The Iraqi dinar is on track to ditch its fixed peg and join the global float. This shift allows the dinar's value to find its level in the open market based on supply and demand forces. So basically, market forces will dictate the value of the dinar rather than government manipulation. Next, we've got increased pressure for the Iraqi central bank to make a public announcement on the RV rate. Now that the groundwork is laid by the U.S. Treasury, the Iraqi central bank is in the hot seat. Expect them to follow through with transparency and clarity on the new RV rate. This announcement is crucial for restoring confidence in the Iraqi dinar. Third, we're witnessing the start of a new phase in the revaluation process. Consider this news as the official green light. What comes next is the implementation and communication of these changes. So buckle up because the coming weeks will be filled with developments. Let's talk about the impact on the Iraqi dinar. This confirmation is like rocket fuel for the dinar. It's adding credibility and momentum to the revaluation efforts. After years of speculation and anticipation, we're seeing tangible progress. This development boosts investor confidence, giving the dinar a much-needed push. Now, if you're scratching your head about the mechanics of it all, I've got you covered. Let me explain the finer points. First, understand that the U.S. Treasury's involvement adds a layer of legitimacy to the process. This isn't just a local Iraqi affair. We're talking about global financial trust here. Second, think about the implications of a floating exchange rate. The Iraqi dinar will dance to the tunes of market forces, adjusting its value based on supply and demand. This opens the door to a more flexible and potentially stronger dinar. And here's where it gets interesting. A key aspect of the dinar's journey involves the International Monetary Fund, or IMF. The IMF has been a driving force behind pushing for a revaluation and a more unified exchange rate. Their goal is to help Iraq stabilize its currency and pave the way for sustainable economic growth. And finally, the last piece of the puzzle is the Iraqi Central Bank. They've been working alongside the IMF and the U.S. Treasury to make this happen. Let me tell you, they're in a pivotal position. The Iraqi Central Bank has the power to announce the new RV rate and set the wheels of change in motion. Now, you might be wondering why all the secrecy surrounding the RV rate? Well, let me spill the beans. Keeping certain information under wraps is all about managing expectations and preventing chaos. Imagine if everyone knew the RV rate beforehand. You'd have hordes of speculators rushing in, hoping to cash in. But that's not what we want. We want genuine economic reform, not speculative bubbles. By keeping the RV rate close to the vest, authorities can ensure that the revaluation sticks and contributes to long-term stability. Plus, it's all about credibility. Building trust in the process is essential. Revealing the RV rate prematurely could undermine confidence, leading to panic or worse, a loss of faith in the currency. So it's a strategic move to maintain integrity and ensure the revaluation sticks. And let's not forget the elephant in the room, the actual number of the RV rate. Now, let's talk specifics. While the exact RV rate remains under wraps, we have some educated guesses. Based on extensive research and analysis, it's estimated to be around 1450 to 1500 dinars to the US dollar. Keep in mind, this is just a ballpark figure. The official announcement by the Iraqi Central Bank will be the ultimate confirmation. And I promise you, it won't be long before we know for sure. So now let's explore the bigger picture. What does this RV rate development mean for the future of the dinar? First, we're looking at a more unified exchange rate. Say goodbye to multiple rates. The RV rate sets the stage for a single, credible exchange rate, representing the true value of the dinar. Second, there's increased flexibility. A floating exchange rate allows the dinar to respond to market forces, reducing the risk of drastic devaluation or artificial manipulation. Third, we're seeing enhanced stability. Yes, it's ironic, but this move paves the way for a more stable currency. By aligning with market realities, the dinar can better withstand external shocks and internal pressures. Fourth, foreign investment is on the rise. A unified and flexible exchange rate boosts investor confidence, attracting foreign investment and facilitating international trade. So prepare for more opportunities on the horizon. Fifth, the Iraqi Central Bank's credibility is on the line. Its first rate announcement is their chance to shine. A transparent and timely announcement will build trust and project the Iraqi Central Bank as a reliable financial institution. And let's not forget about the economic benefits. This revaluation is all about boosting Iraq's economic standing. It aims to restore the dinar's purchasing power, encourage foreign investment, and stimulate sustainable growth. Plus, it addresses the challenges of multiple exchange rates, paving the way for a more integrated economy. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are challenges on the horizon. Iraq needs to manage expectations carefully. Speculation and panic can cause unnecessary volatility. And let's not forget about safeguarding against illicit activities. Money laundering and other shady practices can exploit the transition. But here's the kicker. Iraq is on the right track. With guidance from the IMF and the US Treasury, they've got a shot at navigating these challenges and making the RV rate a success. As we wrap up this deep dive into the Iraqi dinar, it's clear that the stage is set for a historic transformation. The US Treasury's official touch is a stamp of legitimacy that carries weight on the global stage. It's not just about revaluing a currency, it's about building a stable foundation for Iraq's economic future. And with key players like the IMF and the Iraqi Central Bank at the helm, there's reason to be optimistic. Now, my question for you is, how do you think this will unfold in the coming days? What are your thoughts on the RV rate and its impact on the dinar's journey? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's have a conversation. Thanks for joining me on this episode. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and keep an eye on the global financial stage. Who knows where your financial journey might lead you next? See you later.